On the Rise, a suspenseful thriller. Selena Bailey, Book 3. Written by H.K. Christie, narrated by Robin McAlpine. Chapter 1. I promise I won't let you down. Selena hung up the phone and dropped it onto her desk. Finally. Her stepmother, Martina, had agreed to let her take the lead on a missing persons case. Since she started working part-time at Martina's security and investigations firm, Selena's involvement had been mostly limited to mind-numbing activities like reviewing endless pages of phone records and watching security footage until she thought her eyes would bleed and her brain would melt. Sure, in the last 6 months, Martina had let her tag along on a few stakeouts, but those were few and far between. But now, 18 months after she had started working at Dracos Monroe's Security and Investigations, she was going to be able to prove to Martina and the rest of the team she wasn't just some annoying college kid allowed into the firm due to her status as the stepdaughter of one of the partners. She would not only find out what happened to the missing 7-year-old girl, but she'd do it in record time. Of course, Martina had cautioned Selena that she would be required to report her every move to Martina since this was her first official case and all. As much as she hated the idea of being babysat, she supposed it was a necessary rite of passage on her path to becoming a licensed private investigator. Not that she was sure her final career choice would be a PI over a career in law enforcement, but either way, she figured if she could do the private investigator thing while still in college, why not? It didn't even bother Selena that she was likely given the case because all of the other investigators were tied up on other work and the clients had pleaded for Dracos Monroe to accept their case, even if it was to be investigated by a junior investigator. Selena knew when to seize an opportunity when it was presented. Dang, she was just glad Martina had agreed to let her have the opportunity. Over the holidays, Selena had spent most of the break trying to convince her stepmother she could handle more than reviewing records at a desk. It was the same old fight. Martina was concerned that Selena should be focusing on her studies and not on leading investigations. Selena had been adamant that she could handle both school and work. She had a pretty good handle on her sophomore year as a criminal justice major at San Francisco University. She had found her groove pretty early on in college and had received all A's and A-minuses her first year. And that was while she was running her own secret operation to take down a fraternity house that was known for sexually assaulting women. Please. She was more than confident she could handle a little more responsibility at the firm. The one thing that took up more time in college than she'd ever expected.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?